Y'all know what it is. Attitude Era Podcast. Yeah, do we even need introductions for this? The Royal Rumble 2026 is over. Y'all know what it is. Hey, y'all know what it is. Put them ones up. Put them ones up. Y'all know what it is. Oh, man, but we gonna do the intros anyway. The guy to my left or my right, depending on how you look at him, your favorite wrestler's favorite podcaster. If you think your favorite wrestler is famous and he ain't got a picture with Gamache, he ain't as famous as you think he is. And y'all know who I be. Undisputed podcast champion of the world, King HP. And oh my, you see the shirt? Y'all see what it is? Today is a day, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna put this to the side. We're gonna put now. I see you now. I see your face. I see your face. You ain't too happy, good brother. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know I keep receipts. I got them picks. We went over some picks, most eliminations, final fours, long shots, stare downs, winners. We went through some picks.
No, we did. I could take accountability.
Hey, I like it. You know, good afternoon to everybody in the chat. You know, normally we do this in the evening, but y'all know what it is. Royal Rumble is in Saudi Arabia in Riyadh. Beautiful, 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 beautiful stadium. Salute to them and everything they got going on. But tonight, how you feel about lead up? There's going to be tons of surprises. Were you surprised at anything you saw tonight? Was there anything that really had you first thing in your brain before we get into it?
For the men's rumble, at some parts, yes. The women's, maybe like one thing, and that was Brie Bella coming back.
Okay.
Everything else, it was like, not really. But I was one of the people that thought either AJ may have popped up, hopefully Bianca would have popped up, but you know, we didn't.
You
get
said that in your predictions too. Like I can recap some of them.
Yeah.
You said if Bianca would have returned, which we have a chat. I know the chat here is not privy to the chat that we have with our phones, but I thought she was coming out number 30. That did not happen. There was no Bianca return tonight. You got Tiffany Stratton at number 30. The Iron Man, AJ Lee, you had as a final four. AJ Lee did not. Now that's crazy because to me, she signed this contract. She's back with the WWE, but we're getting a lot of part-time, bare minimum work from these individuals. But hey, that kind of messed up some of your picks. But you did say if Bianca's not in it, you were going with Liv.
Yeah.
But humility is a good quality. Do you believe that to be true?
I do.
Well, that shit doesn't exist on this podcast because both my winners won, goddammit. And we have to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? The undisputed podcast champion of the world, King HP. Y'all see it. Y'all was here last night. I told y'all Liv Morgan was going to do it. I told you Roman Reigns was going to do it. Oh, man. Is it good to be alive on a Saturday afternoon in Riyadh, apparently. But I did say if Bianca returned, it would have been her. So I did. I was on the same, me and Gamache drink from the same cup of Kool-Aid. I will say that. Where do you want to start? You want to start with that men's rumble? You want to start with the women's? We had a retirement match and a WWE championship match. I'm not going to call this an undisputed championship except for when I hold it. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree. I don't understand. If you look at boxing, shout out to, you know what I'm saying? I just don't understand how you're undisputed with another championship now. That's, because you anyway. We had Drew versus Sammy. Where do you want to start? Because there's a lot to talk about.
Let's get the singles matches out the way.
All right, you want to start with Drew? Because I think that's the least thing. There's the least money there.
We could get doing Drew and Sammy out the way first.
All right, let's talk about Drew and Sammy. Y'all know Sammy 0-11, but they brought up an interesting stat tonight. He's undefeated in Saudi Arabia. He was 4-0. Tonight, two things happened. One, he got his first loss in Saudi Arabia. Two, he remains winless against Drew McIntyre. How you calling that match, Gamage? I didn't think it was anything crazy. I thought Drew looked hella strong in it.
I felt like this was this close to being a squash match to you?
Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that.
So that's kind of what I got from this.
Yeah, I think that with Drew looking, I'm not even mad they did that. And it's not to hate on Sammy. Sammy to me is an elite mid-tier guy. He can lead the pack, he can challenge. And if he does get a championship, he'll pick one, the world championship, he'll pick one up on like one of the smaller PLEs potentially. Keep it for like a month or two, 28 days, 35 days, maybe 40. But I do feel like they're going to make Drew look away. Because right now, Drew is in the sniper scope of the OTC. But we're gonna get into that. But yeah, I felt like it was a squash match.
Same. And honestly, I think this is what needed to happen for Drew. Because post being champion, he has not looked like a very strong or a dominant champion. This helped with that image.
Yeah, I definitely think it did. And then we saw his antics later on in the evening. But salute to Sammy. I think Sammy, we didn't see him in the Rumble. So I thought that was interesting. I thought for sure if he doesn't win on one, he's gonna go and join the Rumble. And that didn't happen. Does Sammy still have an out? Is Sammy still in the title picture? Is Sammy still going to be talking about world title, trying to get an elimination chamber? What's the road for Sami Zayn look like going forward?
I think he tries to get to the chamber. I don't think he wins it. I do think whether it's King of the Ring or Money in the Bank, I'm not opposed to either one. But I feel like that should be the time frame where maybe we look at maybe he wins one of those, possibly.
Yeah, I think you can work with Sammy. I'm happy he took the loss. I was a little nervous going into WrestleMania that Sammy's going to be wearing a WWE Championship and people are going to try to figure out whether they want to fight him or fight CM Punk. But Drew retains. Decent match, kind of a squash match. I did get that sentiment. Now, next match on the card. This is kind of rough. AJ Styles taking on Gunther in a career match. Now, we talked about this a little bit last night. Gunther's been hailed as the career killer, right? But he really didn't kill careers. He had 2 career-ending matches that we knew the superstars were retiring. It was announced, it was marketed as such, but this one was not marketed as such. This was, if AJ wins, he continues. If he loses, he's gone into the sunset. What's your thoughts on that match and the future for Gunther?
So the match wasn't bad, but I do think when we get to it, I'll break it down more. They made there was a missed opportunity they've done with Gunther, and that was really the men's Royal Rumble. I'll get to that when we talk about the Royal Rumble match.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not too sure what you do with them. Because again, what I want to talk about is for the Rumble, and it makes more sense when I talk about it then. But I did have to show this right here, because if this is his last run, if you guys see it, oh damn, it's going crazy. But basically,
yeah, you got the green screen on.
Yeah, but AJ, that is one of my goals, and I'm not gonna say it sucks that he's retiring, but I am fortunate that I got to be someone to watch him wrestle from the beginning to his career all the way till now. If that is his final appearance, thank you, AJ Styles. If you decide to do another venture, I'm going to support that too.
I definitely think AJ is done with the WWE, but he will be moving on. I don't think he said countless times about it's just little things, where he's like, this will be the end of my WWE career. Even tonight, him losing, I do think where he was going to put his gloves down in the ring and leave those behind, he didn't, right? Which was kind of, to me, okay, he's going to continue on. It just will not be here.
Yeah, that's what I got from that.
So, I think that a lot of people will be happy to see him pop up. Now, where he pops up, not sure. I think there's two equal places. One, TNA, that's his home. That's where he made his bones. In the American population, where the Americas like really took notice of him. And then there's AEW, Rising Company. It's probably the number 2 company behind the WWE. I'm not sure. I wouldn't say TNA is. I would think it's number
No,
2.
yeah, TNA is not over AEW.
Yeah, I don't think so. And again, people always say, "Well, it's crap. It's crap. Crap." Listen, they said the same thing about WCW, and it took a couple guys to go over there, and they were smoking boots. All it takes is the right people in the right circumstances. You don't have to have the best writing in the world. Like a lot of times, like I'm even seeing the comments, Mike Bones, D-Rec, I see like there's a lot of intangibles. Like if you ever go back and watch old episodes from beginning to end, you'll probably be more entertained than today's current product, but you will see like things where like, okay, we can do without that. This is a bathroom break match, right? But they definitely give us more wrestling. I do think AJ, if he wants to do something new and be appreciated, I think AEW is the place. And I'm only saying that because they did Sting lovely. Sting did his final time in AEW and he was booked hella strong. Matter of fact, he didn't lose. There's a couple matches over there that I think are first time opportunities / dream matches / rematches that people would love to see on a big stage. And AEW does well with their pay-per-views. So whether you like AEW, like TNA, or you love WWE, there's opportunity for AJ elsewhere. Now Gunther is a different animal. Gunther is now retired. This is how WWE is going to market it, right? You got Goldberg, John Cena, and AJ Styles under your belt. What? He's not guaranteed a WrestleMania shot. He was the runner-up this year in this year's Men's Royal Rumble. Is there a clear guy that you're looking at for Gunther to handle going into Mania? Or is there a clear guy that you're going to have to build maybe for SummerSlam? And I'm just going to ask that right now.
So my thing is, since we're at it now, the missed opportunity they had at this Rumble, since Gunther was 30. Let me put that out the way. Gunther was number 30. I didn't agree with him being 30. It was probably, I think we all had our thoughts on who should have been 30 if it was possible. But my thing was, if you were going to have Gunther in it, you should have let Brock Lesnar stay longer so we could have had that moment.
I agree.
That was a missed opportunity. That was one of the missed opportunities they had in this match, but I'm surprised.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. I thought that was a definite showdown. We have to see it. We've been clamoring for it for a few years. And I think so many rumors swirling Brock right now and him departing, it would have been good to get that tease and get that feel. Do you think when they did the face-offs tonight in the matches, men's and women's Royal Rumbles, do you feel like that crowd is a good indicator for the WWE? Or should they not go with that, go back to looking at the IWC, kind of take polls, get a pulse on what to feel?
I think there should be a medium to where look at both, but there should be a balance. Because sometimes, even with the IWC, we're part of it too, but sometimes we don't really know what we want, and it's tough. You can't please the IWC. Let's call it what it is. You just can't.
I think the IWC is an imaginary thing because you purposely market people to be fans of all sorts of people. You have Roman Reigns, diehards, Randy, Cody, Drew. So if you go into the IWC looking for who we should put over, you're going to be confused. You have to look at certain metrics like, okay, you can look at the sales and stuff, but you also got to look at like, was the event good? And then look at what wasn't good about it. You see what I'm saying? Because you're not going to be able to please everybody. That's the point of wrestling, right? It's never meant to please everybody. It never has in any, like, this is a pretty good Royal Rumble. If someone says it wasn't, I'd be like, show me 5 better Royal Rumbles. There's been over 48 Royal Rumbles now and I'm talking about individual matches where men's and women's. It's very hard to, when you think about it, well, I can't really think off the top of my head. Well, no, you're just saying things because you're saying them. Because you literally can, you know what I mean? People can't, like, I could tell you the 92 Royal Rumble was really good. The reason why, not that it was so much better than this per se, but there was so much more at stake. So watching every person get eliminated and getting to the final people, you're like, oh, and there's going to be a world champion crowned out of this. I think it was the 2016 Royal Rumble. They did the same thing. The Roman Reigns is defending the title against all. It was one versus all, right? And they went with that mantra.
Yeah.
So I thought the Rumble was good. I don't think it was bad. I think what people start to, it wasn't as good as like others. Like what others? Tell me. Do tell. You had a lot of people. I do think the Jericho thing puts a stamper on it. Like I got to get Jericho out of my head. I'm not ever going to sit here and ask for Chris Jericho again, because waiting at number 30 and Gunther walked out limping, I was like,
no, this is what I keep telling people with Jericho, like, stop expecting him. I'm going to tell you when I stopped, because I noticed it later, and I mentioned it in our private group. Apparently, he's still under AEW's roster.
Yeah, he is. So we can definitely stop.
Yeah, so as long as I still see him on that, I'm not even going to think for 1 second he's going to appear in WWE.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be great. I see a great use for him. But, like, when I watch matches tonight, like an AJ and Gunther, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to get to this apex point, and it doesn't happen. And you're looking at the guy that you're awaiting, and you find out he's still on another company's roster. It's like, bro, you trip. So now you're blaming the event for not being good because your fantasy didn't happen? That's crazy.
That's not how it works.
That's, so I'm definitely taking that Jericho idea and throwing it out, because I definitely expect him. Same thing with Bianca. Bianca's on WWE roster, but when is she coming back? At this point, I have no idea.
Yeah.
That finger, look,
that nerve damage must be really, really messed up.
I feel like it's other things too. I think also with the way the WWE is, do you want to break? Blah, blah, blah. And it's not that you need a break because you've been so active, but do you want to break because when you come back, you're going to be really active? Not just in the sense of wrestling matches, but your public appearances that you're going to have to do, your marketing, the campaigning, blah, 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 blah. Right? But I'm out. Any wrestlers injured, I ain't expecting them back no more.
Yeah.
Because that Bianca not coming back really makes me wonder what the hell going on with Jade.
Yeah, that's going to be a concern too.
But again, AJ Styles, we got kind of drifted a little ahead of ourselves. I didn't want it to go too far crazy. AJ Styles is no longer going to be a part of the WWE moving forward. Gunther, I don't like the tap out of the sleeper. I thought this retirement match was better than John Cena's, though. The no smile.
I agree with that.
We didn't need that smile. I think AJ proved that. I know that was John Cena's. Like, you can write bad. This is like if I write a comic book and I give it to people and people say it's bad. Just because I explain to you my thought process of why it's good doesn't mean it's good, right? The consumer determines if it was good. Mm-hmm. Not the person who, there's plenty of movies that people say are trash, but when you talk to the director, well, did you ever understand? Stop it. That's what people do when they know trash or a bad has been put out, right? Then it's called damage control. That's the damage control. Okay, Cena, people did not like you smiling. All right, we need you to go out there and explain that. All right, just to make people feel good. We put on a show so people can see that you chose to go out this way. That doesn't mean that what I just watched, I'm cool with. It don't matter how you explain it. But
Yeah.
tonight, AJ, I didn't like the sleeper thing, but I do appreciate that he went out like. And then when you know what I'm saying, it seemed like he was trying to like, what happened? What happened? Hold on, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
like he
it
kind
didn't
of
come off. Yeah, it didn't compared to Cena. It didn't come off like he just said, "Fuck it, I'm done."
right.
He was still trying to win.
Yes. Yeah. And salute to AJ on that. I thought their match was good though, too. I didn't think it
It
could have been
wasn't a
better.
bad
Yeah.
match.
Yeah. I'm not gonna nitpick matches like that because of the style of Gunther. It's hard to have this crazy Bret Hart style match because Gunther is he's very
Very
he's a
grounded.
technician, but he's also physical.
Yeah.
And so he wore AJ down, and I thought it was good, man. Good match to go out on. I do think, and I was in conversation with Archie Carter on this. And he was saying that maybe Riyadh wasn't the place. And looking back in hindsight, I think he could have been very correct about that.
I agree. I don't think it should have been in Riyadh, to be honest. I understand why it was, but I didn't agree with it.
Yeah, I almost feel like Riyadh, not saying that Riyadh hasn't supported him his whole career and stuff. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's probably tons of wrestling fans out there. But I think maybe the States would have been better. Or in them countries that be like, you know what I'm saying, where the camera be bouncing and they go crazy. That would have been.
I'm gonna be honest. Can you imagine if he had his final match? Let's say a Clash in Paris. That Paris crowd would have made him look like the biggest star ever.
That would have been great. That would have been great. And I wish I almost said OJ. AJ could have held out for something like that, but you know, I get it, man. I get it. You know, he wants to go home. He may want to do other things.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. And I mean, if anything, he can say, at least with WWE, he left still performing as if he was still in his prime. And not a lot of people can say that.
No, I agree. Mike, what up? What up? Not doing the hand raise 3 times. I agree. I think what happened to back in the day used to be like when you go to sleep, they used to have to one, like they would check. And then on that third one, because you know people arm be catching and all that. I think they need to go back to that because then it's just like the counting of the pin. You should not have to tap. Think about this. Think about the dynamic. This is how bad the storytelling is, and they're not catching it. And this is a small detail that can be easily fixed. And I would love to see him fix it. Why am I tapping on a sleeper? I know my air is getting cut out. Let me hurry up and get up out of here before I go to sleep. But it's better to just go to sleep, and then it's 1, 2, 3. He's done. He's out. He's knocked out. I would like to even see WWE start keeping some sort of stats on that. Submission wins. He's not a normal pinfall artist. He's a submission specialist. Blah 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 blah. Right. Let me go ahead and plug this in before this falls. I thought I was already plugged into the Matrix. Apparently, I wasn't, y'all. But yeah, I think that would have been great. But hey, salute to AJ. Salute to Gunther. Now, where you want to go? We had 2 Rumbles matches. The women started it. Oh, anything else you got to say about Gunther and AJ? Especially AJ, because AJ, you know.
It's going to be interesting to see what he does next. Because I feel like if he goes to TNA, that's probably the most obvious. I think people will be more caught by surprise if he goes to AEW. But he's cool with the Young Bucks, so that wouldn't be a surprise either if he went there. I just don't think WWE would like that.
No, I don't think so. I think either way, WWE is in a rock and a hard spot. If he goes to TNA, you're in bed with TNA. So it's not like you can pull AJ Styles. It would look crazy. AJ Styles back for, you know what I'm saying? It would always look crazy because we can pull TNA stars' talents because we haven't expired our situation. If he goes to AEW, that's the rival. WWE definitely would not like that.
Yeah.
But I think AEW is better if you're still looking for big matches and such, because AEW will go into bigger venues than TNA does on a more consistent basis. So if you're looking for a WWE style event as far as the masses and the audience and the lights, then I would say AEW. If you're looking for nostalgia and stuff like that, I would go with TNA. But again, it's totally AJ's thing. And he can still go overseas and compete. He can still go to New Japan. He can still end up on doing some Ring of Honor matches, blah, blah, blah. Whoever gives him the most freedom is probably where he's going to end up at.
Yeah. Honestly, I think either one will give him the freedom he wants. Because TNA, there's too much respect for AJ there for what he's done for that company. And then with AEW, he's cool with them. The Young Bucks, they're gonna give him whatever he wants.
And rightfully so.
Yeah.
I would. If I was TNA, I would throw the kitchen sink at him for a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
And
The
same thing with
one
AEW.
thing they offered AJ the first time they tried to get him when his contract was expiring, they were gonna give him a flexible schedule. That was the one thing that made AJ go, maybe I might go over there. So he's like, nah, you're not. We'll just give you more money.
Yeah, money can't buy all things. I love money, but yeah.
Yeah.
So salute. Mike, hey, if you ain't like the show, you ain't like the show. There's some things you can nitpick about it. There's some things that ain't really a nitpick. You just be like, look, I don't like the pacing. I ain't like this, blah, 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 blah. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like that. But I'm not gonna even rate the show. I said I was getting away from doing that because again, me not seeing Jericho would hurt the show. But yet, why would I ever expect to see Jericho when Jericho's not under con? You know what I'm saying? Little things. Bianca not coming back. If Bianca's still hurt, I think that hurts. I'm not sure what's going good with Gamage. Okay, we're gonna slide him down. He's gonna come back up. He's gonna pop back up in a second. But we're about to get into the women's Royal Rumble, the women's Rumble. Let's be clear. Liv Morgan, the 2026 Royal Rumble winner. She's also she's really stacking up the accolades. Okay. When her career is said and done, she won Crown Jewel when Seth won it. Remember, they were the two Crown Jewel winners and such. And now she has a Royal Rumble victory, which has something that's been eluding her. She's been a finalist before and such. She's got some great options. All right. We got Stephanie Vicure and Jade. I'm not even sure one of them keeps their belt until Mania. I think there could be a switch because I do think that Liv Morgan is going to go after Stephanie Vicure. I think there's money in that. I think there's a lot of money in that. I do think Stephanie Vicure has kind of I do think Stephanie Vicure definitely has cooled off some since she first got there to the WWE. All right. So what do we have left, right? We also have the Roxanne situation with Raquel. I do feel like Judgment Day is now becoming just the three girls. Over and over. Dom is injured. We didn't see him tonight. Not too much more of a mention of him tonight outside of the Liv stuff with the Judgment Day. New Day wasn't even in the Royal Rumble at all. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I digress. But I think the Judgment Day is slowly, you're getting the build up to the breakup, right? And they're walking us down. They're going to give it to us eventually. Raquel tonight was a Final Four. Salute to Big Mama Cool, looking great out there. I thought she was going to be a Final Four and eliminate, anybody her versus Liv, where it was very reminiscent of the 1996 Royal Rumble, where the final two was Shawn Michaels and Diesel. Shawn had the super kick. He had the super kick Diesel over the top rope, beating his best friend to go on to WrestleMania for the second time in a row. Right? I thought we would have got that. I think that would have been a better angle, but they've done it before. So I don't know what this guy talking about. This guy funny. But I do think that when Tiffany Stratton, Sol Ruka, I almost want a match between them, right? I think that Sol Ruka looked great. I don't know when they're going to pull her up to the main roster. I think keeping her on NXT at this point. I'm not gonna say it's an injustice, but you got to start maybe doing a little faster call up. Maybe they can't because they want to have so many people on roster at all times. Not sure. And no, you're good. Oh, also, hey, you don't need my permission to have any opinion, bro. You can have any opinion you want. No one cares if you think the show sucks. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, if you think the show sucked, you think the show sucked. WWE got plenty of shows that suck.
Let me say this. If nobody likes this show, I mean that's fine, but I'm not gonna act like this is the worst show, let alone the worst Royal Rumble, because it's absolutely not the worst.
No, I don't think anyone said that either. I don't think it would be the worst, men's or women's. I do think the women's.
I'll say this: I do think the women's was weaker than the men's.
Yeah, that's a good way. Yeah,
I'll say that.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Go ahead.
Which one would you say was more in terms of, let's say, how they amped up the participants? Was the men's more disappointing or the women's? If we're going off the participants, not the actual match.
Not the match, just the participants. I would say
on paper that
I would say the men's was more disappointing in that aspect. And I would say that because at least with the women's, whether you like her or love her or whatever, she's the Hall of Famer. They brought Brie Bella back and she looked good.
Yeah.
For the most,
I found it funny that she got a bigger pop than Nikki did when Nikki went last year.
Oh yeah, for certain. I mean, also overseas they love them because they're celebrities. If this would have been in the United States, they might have got crickets. You know what I'm saying? You might have heard popcorn crunching out the front row. I just don't think America is high on them like that anymore. The men's Royal Rumble, you gave me Mr. Iguana, man. You told me Finn Balor couldn't be here. The spots are taken, but we got Mr. Iguana running around here with an iguana. And you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. It definitely sounded like Randy got the biggest pop of the night.
It did. I just felt like because of what I was saying earlier with Lesnar and Gunther, how they missed that opportunity for the face-off. If they weren't going to face off, Gunther didn't need to be at the Rumble, to be honest.
Would you have liked to seen? Okay, so I was just talking about the females, but let's go ahead and jump to the males. We can swing back. I do want to, or maybe we're going to talk about these 30 spots. 30 for the women's was Tiffany Stratton. Gunther was 30 for the males. Are we okay with, like, I think they're both, well, no, I'm lying. Tiffany Stratton's okay. I prefer.
I didn't mind. I thought Tiffany's being the 30 was okay. I didn't agree with Gunther's being 30.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. I do not agree with Gunther's.
Yeah.
You did hype him up to be the runner-up to the Royal Rumble. So he ends AJ's career. He almost wins the Royal Rumble. That's fuel for Gunther. That's fuel for Gunther to talk about this week after week. I was this close to winning the Royal Rumble, right? If I wouldn't have had to beat one of your greatest, I would have, you know what I'm saying? It's just the amping fuel that he'll be able to talk to the GMs and then say, hey, I deserve a shot in the Elimination Chamber. Who do you know can beat an all-time great, end his career, and almost win the Royal Rumble in the number 2 spot? If not the number 2 spot, but being the runner-up, right? I think they get him in the Elimination Chamber. I think Gunther is going to, once they figure out what they want to do with Roman Reigns, that is your marquee, that is your centerpiece. I mean, Roman Reigns went on Pat McAfee's show and cut, I don't even want to say it was a promo. I just think he was talking. We talked about the rumored power struggle between he and Triple H, why he hasn't been on the Royal Rumble tour, essentially, press leading up. And he basically, it almost like a shot. He called out Nick Khan directly to give him praise, but not Triple H. And
they mentioned it on commentary.
They did. I think that shot, I think the belt has to go on Roman. I don't care about part timing because, again, you're bringing in certain viewership that the show feels. I also think he's not going to be a 2025 again. Like, he might be 40 matches. He might do 40 appearances versus like I think he did like 9 or 10 in all 2025.
So of what?
Huh?
9 or 10 what? Matches?
Appearance.
Oh, appearance.
In 2025, we didn't get much for Roman. Remember, he started Netflix. He did the tribal combat match. He popped up for the steel cage and closed the cage. He, you know what I'm saying? He did a few things, but make no mistake, he didn't wrestle much. He didn't show out much. He returned 2 or 3 times. You know, I don't want to see y'all till Christmas, right? He did so I think the title, it just has to. And then you can figure out a lot of storylines from there. Which title are we going with?
You want my petty bias answer is none, because I ain't one winning that shit to begin with. But we live in reality. So if I gotta pick, I would have said Drew if this was 2024, when Drew had the hit list going on with the bloodline. I would have said Drew, but that's died out. I think you could do more with him and Punk, to be honest. Even though they had the triple threat match, a lot of people did want to see them do a 1v1. That's a good chance to get that.
How did you bring that into the mix, right? I think that is an opportunity. I think there's a history there where we saw the 2 straight War Games where Punk had to help team with Roman. Last year's was not last year, the year before. I think we had to stop Punk from going out and Sammy went out. That would have been a better time to, because like, but you can always refer back to those things. I do think Drew on paper looks good, but we've seen it. It's not at Mania, but we've seen it. Like, I don't know if it's going to draw the same when we've seen it.
Right, and you can't really, because the relevancy of what they could have had has died down a lot. You can easily promote Punk and Reigns. Easily.
Supernatural said it right here. I was about to just jump into it. Tonight, Cody Rhodes got eliminated by, I forgot who eliminated him, but Drew made it happen.
It was 10. I think it was technically Jacob. Technically Jacob, yeah. Because Cody tried to save it and then Drew claymored him. That was a nice shot, though. I'm not gonna lie.
It was nice. It was beautiful. It was very reminiscent of the Roman Reigns, what he used to do.
But the drive-by.
Drew caught that in real time. Boom, lays Cody out. I do think if you're gonna do Cody Roman 3, right? There's talking about it in the chat right now where Drew being tied up with Cody and Fatu. Cody wins the championship. Roman wins and beats CM Punk. Now they're on a collision course at Crown Jewel for a higher title. And then you let that be it. Because when they say things like, the titles don't matter, you can have, these are your 2 biggest stars. You're fighting for a new title that's even higher, because you don't want Roman to do another undisputed run, or even Cody, where you're combining the world heavyweight and the WWE. I don't think that, but you have a title where both champions have to fight and they get a new title.
Yeah.
I think that's your out. I think that's your out. That gives us Cody Roman 3. And if you're looking at going into next WrestleMania, you don't have to do that. You can do Roman Rock. You can do Roman whomever. You can do Cody whomever. You know what I'm saying? And not have to worry about we need a final match between these two. Powerhouse Hobbs. I see his name's popping up in the chat. We didn't get
it was Royce.
Royce Kells. No,
I forgot.
Royce, the 5'9". It was definitely not Royce the 5'9". I don't know, but between Powerhouse Hobbs and Obafemi, no stare down. We didn't get it.
We did it?
Royce Keys. There it is. Thank
you.
Supernatural. Mike, I was struggling. I was like, Royce. It was Royce something.
Damn, we really didn't get that. Wow, how did we not get that? But you know what? I'm at least happy.
Maybe they didn't. They caught it. I remember we got the Brock.
We got the Brock and Oba.
Yeah, we got Brock and Oba.
Yeah. Which I'm sorry. After I saw that face off, I want to see them face each other more than Brock and Gunther right now.
100%. I don't think Gunther needs to try to retire Brock because tapping out and putting Brock's a different type of animal.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy into that.
There you go.
I'm not gonna buy into that.
But with the physical size of Brock, the physical size of Oba, it makes sense.
It works. And of course, Oba ain't gonna do no tap out or submission joint. He's gonna try to really fuck him up.
Oh yeah, for certain.
So
For
yeah,
certain. And Brock, first Brock suplexed Oba, and I was like, oh man, please don't turn this into a squash. And the next thing you know, Oba had to lay him out.
yeah.
I was like, okay, good. It's the get back. And I don't think we got a third encounter between the two of them before the entire Rumble turned on both of them and was like, got these two big ones,
Yeah.
Oba, Archie, Oba is definitely.
Yes, he is.
Oba is money. He looks the part. He walked out to the part. Oba was number one.
The fact that that's what surprised me, actually. The fact he was number one. Once I saw he was number one, I'm like, okay, we're going to get a couple stare downs with him. And I'm like, if I'm booking it, that's what I would do. Let's see what fans react to. Let's see what works.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Supernatural Brock versus Oba at Mania would be insane, but I don't want to see Gunther Brock and that be Brock's last thing. I don't want that to be it. So give me Brock versus somebody else at Mania and Brock versus Oba at SummerSlam, but I don't think Gunther and Brock works for me visually, aesthetically. Gunther, I need a 300-pound person to go up against Brock because did you see how physically Brock is like 25 pounds heavier than he ever used to be when he was going against Roman back to back to back at Manias.
Dude, he looked like pause in advance. He looked bigger tonight, bro.
Yeah. Whatever humans he's eating, he ain't he ain't eating regular meat. Pause. He's eating humans at this point. And this guy is 300 pounds of he's crazy.
Oh, let me ask you this. Do you think they did Braun Breaker dirty?
No, I do not. I would have liked to see him get in there. I was very hyped to see him and Oba start this thing. But storyline wise, there's a lot of things this can be.
Okay. So, because he had the shortest time length out of everybody.
Oh, for sure. He got in there and Oba cleaned him up. The person I think it's a misdirect. And I think they've been telling this story the whole time. And they haven't. It's Logan Paul. Logan Paul, when he first came to the Vision, Braun told Bronson Reed, I do not trust him. I do not trust him. I do not trust him. And then when they had the Masked Man, Logan Paul was like, and tonight we're going to have the Masked Man do this. And Paul Heyman's like, wait, what? Like, we don't know who that is. He's like, oh, wait, what? I think he got a thing maybe with Austin Theory, low key. But I do think the person, and then when they said about the going into the Royal Rumble, what the plan is, it was Logan Paul that put up the information, bar none, that we're all going to stick together, and the winner of the Royal Rumble will be, and he announced it, not Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker. And they all were like, okay, bet. Like, yeah. And that buys you time until Seth heals up 100%. Because Logan was the fix for Seth Rollins being hurt. So you can get Logan Braun out the way, and then when Seth comes back, it's game time. And then that allows you to build Braun Breaker in the process. That allows Seth to heal, and you can do whatever you want with Logan. Logan's not going to be a world champion. At least I don't think so. He could be one day, but not as fast as Braun Breaker, not as fast as they're building Braun.
Yeah.
But it gives him a WrestleMania opponent where you're putting the money behind somebody. You know what I mean? Because who's Braun going to face at WrestleMania with what just happened? The Masked Man. We got to figure out who that is. And when you find out Logan Paul's costing people and undermining Paul Heyman, and Logan Paul has that whole I outsmarted. You know what I'm saying? He's got that cocky persona. What you looking at? I know you got that.
Yeah, they're doing the yeah, they're just showing flashes of Bree returning.
Horrible.
Mm.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It's just let's jump into the females for a little bit. We can definitely spin back. There's a lot more to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Women's Royal Rumble. Are you surprised by the winner? Are you surprised by the final four? Final two?
The winner, no, because that was one prediction I got right.
Mm-hmm.
I am surprised. Wait, who were the final four? It was Liv, Soruka, Tiffany, and
Tiffany Stratton and
Tiffany Raquel, because Liv snuck her out.
You have a way to build this to Mania. They're going to put that title shot on the line. Or they don't, and Raquel keeps going at one champion, and Liv says, I'm going after the other. Is there money in Raquel versus Liv for a world title? Is there? Can we get that?
There's a story there, so it's possible.
Ooh. I think it's funny you say that, right? Because Liv winning does a lot, right? I don't know what the status of Stephanie Vicura is. We didn't see her tonight. No promos tonight. I would like sometimes for, they always do the WrestleMania point. Why don't you bring the champions out to sit ringside for commentary?
That's a good idea. And I was actually thinking, like, I don't like when they point at the sign.
It's just the cliche thing to do. Like, it's been that for years, but like,
yeah,
you want to try everything new but the obvious. Bring the two champions out. When we get down to the final four, imagine one year you have one of the champions interfere. And then Adam Pearce or Nick Aldis or one of who, depending on who's champion, they got to get involved and blah 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 blah. Like it brings another mix for chaos. You know what I'm saying? It brings that in. Chaos is needed.
Yeah, like one thing, was it 24 when Cody won the second time? The one thing he did when he won, and I'm like, okay, if somebody actually did that. Remember Roman and Seth when they were champions at the time? They were sitting in the booth. So when Cody, I don't remember if he pointed at the sign.
Cody was supposed to point at.
I think he was supposed to.
I just read about that.
I don't remember if he was supposed to point at the sign or not because I don't remember if he did that.
He was supposed to point at Seth Rollins. Instead, he pointed at Roman.
Yeah,
and Roman. They said just recently reading about that. They said Roman was actually pissed because that was the year they were supposed to do Roman versus The Rock. Had Cody would have pointed at Seth,
that would have set that up. But
it would have set that perfectly.
Yeah. But the fact that Cody pointed at a champion is what I appreciated. Because I'm like, I don't remember the last time that's happened at a Royal Rumble.
I think that might, off the top of my brain, that might be it. You know what I'm saying? Because it just makes the most sense. Like you sitting here, imagine when Royal Rumble ends, two champions getting in the ring. Like remember when CM Punk and Cody and Roman was in there and he was like, that belt would look better on me anyway. And then they were like, which belt? He's like, I'll let y'all figure that out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So WWE wants to do a lot of new things. Hey, next year you might want to try it. Put the two champions there. And this way, someone could take out it's just a lot that could be done. But I think the sign pointing is cool. It is what it is. It's the norm. I want to point to the sign. I'm going to WrestleMania. Like, yeah. I don't even think they're becoming safe bookers. I think, don't forget last year they gave us Jey Uso winning. I just think this year they're like, we can't ruin the Rumble.
Yeah.
Let's not ruin it. All right. We'll wait till Money in the Bank to do some surprise shit. But this year, I don't know if we want to do, Roman safe pick. That is a safe pick.
Yeah, Roman was a safe pick.
And so is Liv Morgan.
But you know what? I'm okay with safe picks if it's still a pick that's needed.
Roman is needed.
So it's even if in my position, did I want Roman to win? No, but I understand why he won it.
Now, what did you say? Wants Braun to win. You picked Roman. You did pick Roman, but you said you wanted Braun to win, which is crazy. Braun was the first one eliminated tonight.
Right. Because the thing is, I went by the final four I predicted, and I'm like, it does not make sense for me to pick Braun, and he's not even in my last final four.
Right. And you were talking about that yesterday. Yep.
Yeah, that's why I said Roman.
I would have liked to see LA Knight get to the final four. I think with LA Knight, not so much Sami Zayn, but you could use Sami Zayn. They got to win King of the Ring. You got to build these two up for SummerSlam. I think they've lost all with LA Knight because they could have been to this, but your final four prediction, you were completely wrong on the women's side. You said Liv, Bianca, AJ, Jordan Grace, two of which weren't even in. So your final four was shot. Jordan Grace didn't make it. She had a very strong showing, though. She had a very strong showing. They buried LA Knight on Unreal is crazy. I hate that you even wrote that because that just made me have to think about watching Unreal. And that man looked there. He looked so disappointed when Triple H was running through the entire finish. And he just looked like, yeah, like whatever, bro. Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? My final four was Liv, Bianca, who wasn't even in it, Rhea, and Charlotte. Rhea got eliminated, I think it was by Raquel.
Yeah, she did I forgot that powerbomb move she does. She took her out.
Raquel looking strong like Diesel. Charlotte had gotten eliminated earlier. Alexa Bliss got eliminated pretty early. I think Alexa Bliss is never going to return the championship for him. I think if she does, they'll put her in the mid card. I think they'll use her. I think there's a lot of people on the men's side too like that where they're going to start putting down to the mid card or so and start elevating like an Obafemi or Javon Evans. Javon Evans is going to hit that mid card very soon. Trick Williams is going to hit that mid card soon. Sol Ruka is going to hit that mid card soon. Kalani Jordan, you could tell who they have faith with from the NXT. Not faith with, but because they put him in the Rumble. JC Jane, she was there tonight. She did okay. Her elimination was harsh.
I think she only got in because she's the champion.
Right. And I think it would be unreal to put everybody else in and your champion's not. Lash Legend, Vinny, you said it. Lash Legend eliminated a lot of top stars.
Yeah, I think wasn't she my pick for like most eliminations
or
something like that? I know I picked
you had her for most eliminations.
Oh,
yep.
There you go.
Yep. Yes, you did. You had her and Nia. And short, and it isn't because I think she only had 5, which is a good number. It's not bad.
5.
But it was who she eliminated.
Yeah,
that really like what? I think she got.
She took out both the Bella twins.
Yes.
Yes. I can't remember the other ones. She eliminated Io, didn't she?
Yes. I should have better notes. I can't remember. She definitely took out. I think it was Io, because Io had just taken out. Asuka got taken out by Kairi Sane. Io was blocked. It was a whole thing. You should have been there. The women had great Royal Rumbles in the past. Tonight definitely didn't feel like many of the women had in-ring chemistry, which is the result of not wrestling and less house shows. Yeah, we've had this conversation. You can't not do something, especially the Rumble, because I'm not going to be as familiar with your moveset when I don't see you wrestle as often. I just don't. I don't see you. It's not nobody's fault but the rest of the company. We don't see these girls all the time. But shout out to Lash Legend looking like $1 million. Hey, and shout out to her fiance, Trick Willie.
I was just gonna say he had a nice pop too when he came out.
Woo! Looks like $1 million. Best thing they could do was kept him in the fur coat wrestling.
I was happy to see the NXT standoff with him, Oba, and Javon Evans. That was good.
That was a picture moment, because in the future, when you look at the Shield, I think they're trying to get you to think of them in that same breath.
Where like they're gonna be like the next big 3 of the generation.
Yes. I think that's the goal. Things could change, injuries, contracts and such, but like aesthetically right now, that's what it looks like. And they're all very different. And don't tell me Trick Williams can't wrestle. Like, bro, have you watched The Rock's matches? You can't tell me The Rock was no technician. Okay, but what he did on the mic, good. And he can have a decent match. Trick Williams is made in the mold of Booker T, essentially. He's like the T-Move version. Javon Evans, no words. Y'all see, getting bouncy, getting loose with it. I just don't want him to get compared too much to Kofi. We've already heard Michael Cole made that mistake once. And
he hasn't said it since, so let's hope he doesn't say it again.
Yeah, he hasn't said it again. So 100% The Rock was terrible. That's my point. But he was the Rock is put on a lot of people's Rushmores. You don't have to just wrestle. Everyone always asks, "Oh, you gotta wrestle. You gotta wrestle." No, yeah, it helps a lot. If you could Bret Hart this thing, you're we that's half the battle.
Yeah,
but
it helps. But I was gonna say it helps, but that's why wrestling is entertainment.
But even back in the day, people make the excuse like blah 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 blah. Back in the day, there was mad people who couldn't wrestle.
That's a fact. That's true. That's very true.
It's the look.
Yeah.
You grew up to people being put on, and you can't tell everybody in this chat is a Vince McMahon baby. And you can't tell me you was like, yo, Warlord, Barbarian, Hercules, Dino Bravo, all them cats was holding it down. No, absolutely not. Tito Santana could wrestle. People don't know that because he had a horrible gimmick. Rick Martel could wrestle. People don't know that unless you were watching him back in AWA when he was the world champion and Ric Flair had the little belt. But it had I don't want to say it was a horrible gimmick. The model was pretty decent, actually, gimmick. But, he didn't have the size. They told Ravishing Rick Rude he needed to gain more size. Ravishing Rick Rude. My point is this. Trick Williams may have the utensils in his – he has to be catchy. He definitely has the catchy intro. Intro, check mark. That's done. That's out the box. That thing is out of here. Get a load of these lemon pepper steppers. Right? He's already, let's talk about it. The way let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? He did a Rock move with the thing, but then he changed it at the end. So
he
exactly copy the Rock. But he's doing these certain mannerisms and these things to get him over. You have to have personality in wrestling. And it's always been like that. Anybody who tells you otherwise is lying. And they haven't really watched it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, like Hulk Hogan was not the best wrestler, bro. He went overseas to Japan and had decent matches. But his finisher was a leg drop, and he had like 12 moves total. Ultimate Warrior, no moves. They put him in there with people who could really wrestle. Ravishing Rick was known for his wrestling ability. Mr. Perfect was known for his wrestling ability. Macho Man Randy Savage was known for his wrestling ability and match types and the quality of his matches. They constantly put him in there with people who could do it to carry the match. WWE will always find a way. Always find a way. But one thing those guys had, like Hulk Hogan had aura. Roman Reigns has aura. Roman Reigns does 6 moves, and no one gives a shit. Nobody cares. They want to see those 6 moves. They want to see Roman Reigns hit somebody with a drive-by, or a Samoan drop, Superman punch, clothesline, a spear, and a roll-up pin. That's it. Going back to those NXT Big 3, I would like to see them form a group. At some point, you're just going to do them like the Shield, where they're going to be in and out of each other's trajectory all through their careers. They're going to be synonymous, and that's good because if I hate to say this, The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, and there was a 4th guy there. It was Mark Merrow. They all came in WWE around the same time, and they were all in the mid card together, and then they all kind of elevated together. Some a little bit faster than others, but like. Stone Cold won his first title in 98. Rock won his first title in 99. Triple H won his first title in 99. And Brock took Mark Merrow's girl in like 2001. So like, you know how that goes. Well, you might not because you're Pretzelmania, but like, Logan Paul went up to Logan Paul's a superstar. What was his name?
Royce Keys.
Roy Grace.
Royce Keys.
I'm not gonna. It's gonna take a second for that to. It's a decent name, though. I'm very interested. Where do you put him in the WWE?
Like which brand?
Which brand? Because Oba just got to SmackDown.
They confirmed him.
Oh no, they didn't.
They didn't confirm him.
I think I'm just assuming because
No, because Wade Barrett did say I would like for him to be on SmackDown.
Yes, right, correct. So you can't. I think you just got to keep him and Oba separate.
Yeah, wherever one goes, the other goes to the other show.
But other one goes to the other show. Yes, 100%. They're built very same. They're gonna draw comparisons, but on two different shows, they can each thrive before they ever have to meet in a match. Powerhouse Hobbs on board first. Who the hell are you? Place was half empty to start the show. The way they had that show set up with the lights, the chairs, I don't think they filled out that arena. Like when they did that pan through and they were going all through the crowd, you could see that the chairs did have people in them, but I still could see a lot of chairs that, I mean, in a quick shot, it looked like there still weren't people in all of them. And I was trying to really focus on that because I guess they have like lights on the back of the chairs. Did you see that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
They had like LED lights on the side of the chairs, but it was like it also dimmed the seats, so you didn't really see anybody.
That's stupid. Supernatural, you may be right, and he may stay there. WWE is known to squander talent. Everybody can't go. I mean, Tommaso Ciampa just left. He never even. I would say he never got to the mid card. The mid card to me is people who compete for the mid tier titles. He was in that tertiary level where he was singles, he was just a guy to get beat up. And when he was, or in the tag team, he was doing work. But I think there's a level lower than the mid tier. And I think Hobbs could go into the mid tier and go higher. However, WWE is, we just got to watch. We just got to watch because I think Hobbs should, who eliminated him? Do you remember? If you don't, it's cool. I wish it would have been a Brock.
I think it was Bronson Reed.
Okay, Bronson Reed's cool. But the problem with that, too, to me, a little bit, is Bronson Reed ain't done nothing. He just confirmed it. Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed ain't done nothing. Bronson Reed is a big guy. I think he needs to get a title. But if Bronson Reed eliminated Hobbs, Bronson Reed is still in the main event picture. You know what I mean? He does have a victory over Roman Reigns in 2025. And hopefully they start using that soon. I think that's a good elimination. That's okay. I think I would have liked to see him last a little longer and maybe in a struggle with Brock and then two people get eliminated. Or him, Oba, Brock. They're all against the bump. Oh, my God. Michael Cole and them like, yo. And then somebody eliminate the three of them very similarly to last year, Seth, Roman, CM Punk getting eliminated. One person eliminates the two and then someone quickly eliminates the third guy. Just to show you that these guys are in the same tax bracket. Do not take your eye off these guys. They're money. They look like money. They're definitely money. The women, I think the women's side has more issues. Negative, but not bad. All your top tiers are tied in that tag team picture. How do you break that up? Did they do a good job tonight with the Kabuki Warriors, where Asuka was eliminated by Kairi Sane by accident, courtesy of Io Sky?
Yeah, I think that played out the way I kind of assumed it would, but that tag team division's an issue.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I think as much as I thought for a second, I still think that's the hottest division in WWE. But if you don't hurry up and I don't want to say dismantle, right? But some of the teams you got to break or at least postpone or whatever. You just got the Bella Twins. I would recommend putting them in there because Lyra,
go ahead.
Lyra and Bailey went at them. Lyra and Bailey went at them, and then Liv and Raquel went at them as well. And so I think you can sacrifice a team or two, and you just went and got the Bellas back.
I think they're gonna set them up against Rio for Mania.
I'm okay with that. Against Rio? No. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with that. I think that's enough star power in that match to make it very interesting. Um, Despite how many people may feel about the Bellas, I'm not a fan of them. But let's be clear.
They
You
they
got to
have
sell tickets.
they have a fan base. We can't.
They
deny
have a
it.
fan base. Let's not be act like, like, come on, bro.
Yeah, and I don't
We're not
like
doing
them
it.
either. but I
When
got
it
hope.
comes to the Bellas, this is how we all feel. Okay, we just
Accurate.
smile and take it because at the end of the day, that's all we can do, right? Um, I do want to say that salute to John Cena, man. That was uh, I thought for a second maybe John Cena comes out based off of something I saw online, and he didn't, which was good. But I want to say this: uh, last year Jey Uso won. This year Jey Uso's in the Royal Rumble. He did the thing that we said he did it at Elimination Chamber. We might as well do it at the Rumble. He fucking did it. He did that running back shit in the Royal Rumble. I need to know what you think about that and what you feel about. Are you happy as hell that Roman shut that shit down?
I think I, I like Jay. I have nothing against him, nor him as a wrestler. I still support, but I'm done with the
No
yeet shit.
slander. No slander. Y'all remember this? I remember this. I remember this event this night. This is the night of WrestlePalooza. After WrestlePalooza, you see Jay got that head wrap. Because remember, he got bonked in the head. I ain't gonna go into any further details. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no slander, Gamaj. I'm not getting attacked.
Look, I'm just saying I'm done with the yeet shit. I'm done with it. You
I'm
cannot take
done with the yeet
you
shit.
can't take him seriously the way he just does it in moments it's not needed to be done.
Dog, this was my highlight. Roman got in there. Because remember at SummerSlam, he was doing it with him. And I'm like, okay, they're a tag team right now going against the Vision or whatever. And Roman was like, and Jay did that. Yeah, I knock his teeth out. You know what I'm saying? Stop being dumb, bro. We're in the Royal Rumble. And you over here
I won't
running
lie.
it
When
back.
Roman did that, I said to myself, I'm not gonna be as mad if he wins the Rumble anymore.
I also felt like that was the killing blow to Jey Uso. Not that Roman did that to him, but we cannot take you serious. As a tag team champion, yes. As a single star, that run it back. The promo he just had when they had the 8-man tag on SmackDown, it was horrible. It was very short. You don't know what it is. I'm gonna do this. I hate it. I hate it. When he gets mad, and we've had this conversation, when he gets mad and does regular promo, he's good. It's good. It's very emotional. It's very, you know what I'm saying? And people are always going to go with that yeet because the only person who I can compare entrances to for Jey Uso is Trick Williams. They have the best two entrances in the WWE. I don't want to say in professional wrestling, but I will say in the WWE. And if they don't, they're definitely both top 5. Period. I don't care how you slice it. When that theme song comes on, it's a bop. It's a bop. Um. Also, yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. My man came through the crowd with a Ula Fala on. With a lay on. Not a Ula Fala, but like a lay. Are you cool? Like, what are we doing here?
I don't care for that. Jacob did it too.
They all got lays on. Like, hey, either Roman wears it or none of y'all wear it. Or all y'all wear it and then Roman doesn't wear his. Because the Ula Fala, like, what is this? All y'all got? Like, you did all that fighting for one and now all of them got one? Like, remember when Jay had the blue one that was exactly like the Ula Fala Roman
Yeah,
had?
I remember the blue one.
Again, WWE creative. These are times. I hate when people text me important shit when I'm on here doing important shit. They ain't see the Rumble. People crazy. You know what I'm saying? Um, most elimination. Jey Uso, yeah, can't take him serious. I think Jimmy, he might be doing something with Naomi. I mean, that's his wife, real life. She is pregnant. We know that. We haven't seen Jimmy in a little while, and I hope everything is good with them. I've read rumors. I don't even want to say anything out loud because I don't want to speak anything into existence. So I wish them the best. I hope everything is going immaculate. I hope everything is going great. And you know, Jimmy's a great guy. Jay is too, to be honest. It's just the main event Jey Uso character is done. It's done. Just don't even call yourself main event. Just take that off.
It's just a gimmick. We don't hate him.
Yeah, but we don't hate him. You know what I'm saying? I bought y'all. Hey man, I bought y'all stuff at the restaurant. Y'all remember? But I definitely think all Samoans wear flowers except for. I don't know if that's true, but it's starting to look like that, Mike. It's definitely starting to look like that. Things you wish you would have got. Things. Let me ask you a question. Things you wish you would have got out the Rumble. Iron Man. Oh, Jada Parker wasn't in the Rumble.
This is why I'm really looking at like the women's was very disappointing to me.
Dog, I'm looking at my picks because I was completely off. I said the women's will be Jada Parker or Lola Vice. Lola Vice was in the Rumble. I'm trying to think who they have. Charlotte was doing an Iron Man thing. Charlotte was number one. Who else after her? They had somebody else posted up too. But Charlotte definitely, a lot of time. But I thought that should have went to an NXT spot.
No, same. That's what I was saying.
Iron Man on the men's side, you had Braun Breaker. Bet you didn't see that coming. In the words of Quicksilver,
Nope.
I had Cody Rhodes. I was wrong. Obafemi. I think Obafemi was the Iron Man for the men's side.
He might have been.
Because remember, he was number one.
Yeah.
And he had like 40 some odd minutes.
And he had the most elimination. Like, he looked really great in this match.
Hey, salute to Oba. We're gonna take a drink for Obafemi tonight. Looking good. Javon Evans looked good. Roman Reigns looked like $1,000,000. Brock looks like two humans. Brock don't even look human anymore. That he looked like he got dropped off from one of them vehicles that be taking people up and out of here.
I do wish that Ethan Page could have been in this match.
They alluded to Ethan Page at one point during the women's match with Chelsea Green when they went through. She's the AAA intergender champion with NXT North American champion Ethan Page. Again, definitely should have had Ethan. And we talked about that yesterday. I love Ethan Page. I don't know what whatever. I'm not gonna get on that. Ethan Page is a heel that is needed on the main roster. He might be a little undersized, and that might be it. But that all ego trumps that. You think you're good? I've been doing it because he gets to say things to people that I've been doing. Like they'd be like, "Listen, you just got here." Be like, "I just got here, but I've been doing this for 18 years. I've beaten people that you couldn't even have a decent match with. I've beaten people all over the world. I've beaten people in everywhere from a backyard to 50,000 seat arenas. You're not going to tell me where I belong." You know what I mean? Bro, he's 36. They better hurry up. I agree, Vinny, but like, I love the whole Ethan Page character. I do. I think he's great. I really think he's a great heel. I think Drew McIntyre is not enough. Gunther is not there yet. Not even close. Drew, I just wish Drew would stop taking personal shots at people because it seems like that every feud he always has to do it, it seems like. But he also says the things that I would like that nobody else would. Like when he called Damian Priest the Undertaker, the bisexual Undertaker.
Like he'll say things that people in IWC are saying.
Yeah.
And they don't normally let you get away with that.
Yeah. So salute to Drew, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely think there needs to be another level of villain on that. And I think Ethan Page can do that. And the way he wrestles, very technical and I can take this guy out. I can take him out, work body parts.
Actually, let me ask this. Who would you say is the top heel on the Raw brand?
On the Raw brand?
Yeah.
Oh, it feels like they don't even have one. It feels like they don't have one.
As you said that, that makes me would want Ethan Page to be on Raw because SmackDown has Drew. Raw don't got a strong
They're
heel.
supposed to like. I see Vinny saying it like it's Gunther, but like I don't feel like it's Gunther.
Now, this is the thing with Gunther. Is Gunther a valid heel? Yes, but the problem with Gunther is people only hate him now because he's just taking out your favorite legends. That's really it. Ethan Page is someone like you see how when we used to hate Dom because it was like we said he had the part where he looked like a heel, he had a punchable face.
Yeah,
Ethan Page just has that look of someone you just don't want to like. I don't you don't really get that feel with Gunther. It's just more so, we know he's legit, but we just don't really rock with him like that. And right now it's just because he's retiring our favorite wrestlers, but not because Gunther looks hateable. He has a punchable face. It's nothing. It's a different lane.
yeah. I think
Because if that's the case, I promise you, Ethan Page, he goes to Raw, he's gonna be the most hated heel in a good way before Gunther does. He may not be the most dominant heel in terms of the in-ring wrestling, because that's what Gunther is. But as a character, he's gonna be better than Gunther. And to me, he is
yeah,
better than
I
Gunther
agree.
already.
And I think it's that promo work too. Like,
Yeah.
I made him tap out. He's a bitch. Like that's Gunther constantly. Um,
And whether we like to keep saying this or not, but it is what it is. Gunther tapping out to Jay is still hurting him.
yeah, it should have never. That man, that's crazy.
It's still hurting him. And I
That's
think
crazy.
from here on out, everybody's gonna use that against him every single time.
I think part of that too. I don't think they can come out of that. I don't think it can because like okay, let's look at tonight. He tried to put Roman Reigns to sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
That move sucks. That sleeper, it's just not. It worked in the '90s and in the late '80s with $1 Million Man and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, it works now. It's just when Gunther's really aggressive with it and he goes with the elbows. I think that version of it is very like
That's when I buy into it more because that's when I'm like, oh, he wrapping this up now.
yeah, like that's the
Yeah.
version we need. Like, what is he doing? Like the series of elbows, then he applies it. It's very hard to kick out.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we need from Gunther. We just can't have him half lollygag wheeling and applying this thing. The power bomb, I think, should be his standard finisher. I think he has enough height that he does it. I think that should be a standard finisher for him. A Gunther bomb, an Imperium bomb. I don't know what you want to call it, a retitle it, whatever. I
Here's
think
what's actually crazy. I'm referencing the W2K25 game, but you're gonna see why I'm like I find this interesting. If anyone's familiar with the game, you know they have finishers and super finishers, right? Gunther's super finish, not his regular. His super finisher is basically the Boston Crab.
he tried that shit tonight on
But it's
AJ. He tried to get him out of there early with a Boston Crab.
right, and then I look at it like if that is supposedly your strongest finisher, and that didn't help, and you're still sticking with the choke slam, I think we got to reevaluate what finisher really you should be using to make you look the most dominant.
Yeah, I agree. I do like that he has multiple submission tactics because when you do that, like Bret Hart, you can do multiple matches, but Bret Hart didn't have a substandard finisher. His finisher was a sharpshooter. What I'm saying is, if he had to pin you, if you go watch Bret Hart matches, he just did a roll up pin out of nowhere, like where he tricked Diesel and his body kept dropping. Even when him and Diesel fight at the Royal Rumble and he doesn't get that win, he goes for Bret Hart with the roll up. Like he doesn't have a move to actually beat you by pin, except for he doesn't have a move. Gunther does, and that's what separates Gunther The Fatu Samoan drop on Evans was ridiculous. Threw him like 20 feet in the air. Yeah, that was a good one. I think and Jacob too, man. You got to figure out. There's a couple stars that are like, I don't know. They're not clicking all cylinders yet. And I put that yet because I think Gunther just needs a little dial up. Not much, because again, we're getting the hate behind him. I just think that Jey Uso thing did hurt. You can't. It was a big moment. It was last year's WrestleMania, man. You tapped out fast too. As soon as he was gone.
I think that's what made it worse for him. The fact he did it so quick.
Yeah.
Because even when it happened, I was like, "That's it."
Yeah. Yeah, I think him. And then when I was going with Jacob Fatu, him just coming back, he was starting to cool off. I think those walks to the ring where he's like, hell, you ain't this and blah, blah. And he has those conversations. Don't give him too many promos outside of that. But when you do, he always has little catchy things he makes up, man. He doesn't make them up. They're already things that are in society that we say. Yeah. They little hood sayings. He's just bringing it to the WWE. You know what I'm saying? I went from EBT to WWE, and everyone's like, oh.
Yeah. I would only have him do that for a PLE. Only for PLEs. Don't do it on a regular SmackDown show. He did it in Saturday Night Main Event, but okay, I'll let that slide that one time.
I think you could do it on Saturday Night Main Event because they treat it like a PLE. You know what I'm saying? It has PLE feel depending on, I guess, the main event.
Yeah, I say depending on how for Saturday Night Main Event, depending on how the card looks, it's a yes or no for me.
Okay.
But as far as like PLEs, that's when I feel he should do it, not on a regular show.
I'm with you. I like that you even said that because again, don't wear it out.
Yeah,
make it special, and it's special in the PLE when he's walking to the ring and you do the one shot follow, and it's like 5, 2, and then the cameraman steps to the side, he walks out. You're following the werewolf to the ring, and then once it comes to the curtain, it's a new shot. Boom, you're out scoped, and then once you get towards the pyro, you're in scoped on him. With the first guy or a new guy, but someone, Stu or whatever, who's right there. So using 3 different shots, but the long shot follows him. And that's where we get that type of interview. That type of stuff in that camera trick. I'm talking to my daughter, that's why I'm so into that. Makes a big difference. That's why they shoot Obafemi the way they shoot him. When he's in the ring, it's always the below camera. Whoever's that cameraman, they have him get down and they always film him up. So it creates a larger than life depiction of this giant.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I don't see this much often, but I like when superstars hold certain exclusives or like entrances for either a particular event or if they're a champion. So one example, Samoa Joe, like back when he was in Ring of Honor, he had like his regular theme song when he would come out. But when he was the ROH champion, he used a different theme every time. And he would only use that theme specifically for when he was champion. And it was ironically a Jadakiss song, but...
Yeah, salute to Samoa Joe. I would have loved to seen him with Roman Reigns in this era of the tribal chief and the Samoans. I would like to see, because Bronson Reed should be in the bloodline.
Oh yeah, shout out to Orton for that RKO he did on Javon Evans. That was a nice spot.
Yeah. Speaking of Randy is a GOAT. They said it's the year of the Viper. Of course he's gonna say that.
I don't know if he gets a belt this year, the way things are looking.
I don't think he's getting it anymore.
I don't think so.
When I hear Triple H talk about it and the fact that Triple H was okay with Roman Reigns never getting another title again, then Randy's even further back on the list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if I look at it in that perspective, then no. Randy's never gonna get one. And I think that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to WWE Universe, you can hear the pop. We love Randy. If anyone should break John Cena's record, no, I don't think too many people have a problem with Randy Orton doing it.
No. I said it then before Cena did it. I stand on it now. It should have been on originally.
Mustafa Ali, salute to you, good sir. He probably did the promos leading up to the Chamber. He already did at the post show. Hold on, Drew gaslighting Roman to pick him. Yeah, I think that's just not going to happen with the gaslighting with Drew. Because again, we had the Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns match, right? And it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. But CM Punk is I think there's more money involved there. I think the Paul Heyman thing clearly comes up. I think that
there's more intrigue with them going one-on-one.
Yes. And then, man, Mustafa bringing up the point about Finn Balor, though. Roman picks Jr. What's next for Punk? Finn attacked him on Raw. The only thing is, how many more Saturday Night Lives do we have before Mania? And I'm like, I would guess, when is Mania? In April?
Yeah, early first week of April, I think.
I thought it was a teen date, like April 18th or 19th.
Actually, no, I'm lying. 19 and 20.
19 and 20. So we have some time, right? So we'll probably get at least another Saturday Night main event before then. We'll have the Elimination Chamber and probably another PLE. We might even get 2 Saturday Night main events. I'm about to see if I can pull it up and see the schedule.
Yeah.
Saying that because I feel like they'll finish CM Punk Finn before that if there's enough Saturday Night main events before that. I also think Roman could sit out there, maybe even make it look like him and Finn have some beef, and they talk about Finn Balor's Universal title win. Because if my memory is correct, didn't he beat Roman for that? Or did he beat Seth Rollins for the
He beat Seth Rollins for the belt, but they did do a tournament at the time for the inaugural.
And he defeated Roman Reigns in that tournament.
He beat Roman, yeah.
So it's something that he could quick go over, like, hey, when it came to the title, I got my first belt by going through you. You know what I mean? And I could do that again. So, but then it's just a misdirect, right? We're really going for Punk and Roman. But we want to throw it off because if you see the Punk and Balor situation or Roman Balor situation, it may make you think that, they're going in that direction too.
Yeah. But then Roman could counteract it and say,
Elimination Chambers in Chicago. Oh, yeah. Punk's definitely in the building. Punk is definitely in the building. And it'll definitely be him and Finn at Elimination Chamber. And that's a great place to settle it. Probably maybe with one extra Saturday Night main event for the cherry on top. But I wonder I guess it is going to be Drew, Jacob, and Cody. I think that 3-man, they're no closer to getting to the end of that.
Yeah, that's my because my thing is that doesn't feel like a Mania main event match. That's my thing with that. And I feel like they made it obvious when Drew assisted in the elimination.
Drew definitely assisted in that.
That was an assist.
That was a drive-by.
Yeah.
Or the Claymore or whatever. But.
Yeah, because I was speaking to somebody about it when it happened. They got upset saying that shouldn't count. I'm like, nah, it counts. There's no.
It counts.
That was like it's no DQ.
We watch Hulk Hogan pull Sid Vicious over the top rope and Ric Flair. You know what I'm saying? We watched a lot of people through the years aid from the outside.
Yeah, matter of fact, what Rumble was it when Cena eliminated Miz? Miz was already kicked out and he tossed Cena out, and that still counted.
Oh shit!
I forgot which one
that wasn't a Royal Rumble trivia match. Paul not with the Vision, but comes out with Brock is kind of crazy. Yeah, I think the Vision might be on its last legs, man. Not like last legs, but Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Paul Heyman, that works. I think the person tonight that attacked Braun Breaker was Logan Paul. I don't think it was Seth Rollins. I think it was because again, don't forget, Logan Paul was the guy who came up with the plan. We all support Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker wins. Mm-hmm. When Logan Paul first joined the Vision, Braun told Bronson Reed on that ramp on the way back to I don't trust him. They made a point to catch that on cam, and they made a point for him to say it multiple times. And they took him in, and he's always been the wiry guy. Like he's a little too wiry. He was short as fuck. Looked on a low carb diet. Got to be.
I mean, I'll say this for Paul
The
too.
low carb diet is
To kind of
funny.
defend Paul in terms of like not being out with the vision, he was out. He was next to Braun Breaker during his entrance. So if I'm really gonna be fair to Heyman, if I had to come out each time per person that came out, that's a lot.
Oh
Let's
man.
put it like this: if I'm Paul Heyman after Braun Breaker, because clearly he is like the main one there, you got Logan, Austin, Bronson Reed. So out of those three, who is he leaving with if Lesnar's not in it? Because he's got to be with Lesnar. That's like his first big client he managed.
Do you think Paul Heyman being with? Okay, let's backtrack a little bit. Yes, that being his first client, it should be a problem for the vision. Do you think the WWE skips over that storyline, or do you think it's a thing where they're just like Paul gets away with it because it's Paul?
I think he gets away with it because also he did team with them at Survivor Series. So even at least with the vision, they gotta understand like that's his man's.
Okay. I'm trying to pull that Royal Rumble. I'm trying to do two things at once because I want to get that Royal Rumble with the Miz. I'm about to make it a dead
Oh,
issue.
the one where he took Cena out.
Yeah, I'm trying to sit here.
I remember that vividly.
Let me keep putting this up
because when he did that, Miz was already out, but it still counted.
Such a beautiful belt. I think, man, WWE has a lot of route avenues, which are main event picture. Good ones. I do want to say that because the Drew thing, I do feel that Drew, Jacob, Cody is not. To me, it doesn't spell out WrestleMania. I'm like, oh yeah, man. I'm just not there. Is there any combination of that they could give you that you would be like, yes? Could it be Jacob, Cody for the world title, or Drew versus Jacob for the world, or Cody versus Drew? Like, is there any combination of those three that works for you?
Not bad. I was trying to find. I think I found the Rumble, by the way. But say that again.
Is there any combination of the Drew, Jacob, Cody that they could use to have that main event WrestleMania feel?
I almost. I would say maybe a stipulation could be involved in this match.
Okay.
Maybe. Even though I would really like to avoid that.
I think I could go with triple threat, right? Hear me out. Finn attacked Braun at the Rumble. Roman picks Drew. Finn versus Braun at the Chamber. Winner gets shot at the world title against Punk. Finn wins. Ooh. We get Demon.
I do want to say this. I do think Demon comes back at Mania.
Only thing I don't have no negatives about that.
I do like that though.
I don't have no negatives about that. I think
not really like that.
Yeah, I think the just when he just went against Punk, and came out to his own theme again. Like I forgot how what I mean, because you've seen him in the Judgment Day for so long. You're just like, damn, all right, I think we do need to be reminded. I just don't. If Finn attacked Braun tonight, all right. So let me put this in perspective. Because I'm thinking about what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight, Braun comes out, boom, he's about to go in, Finn, and he sets it up to look like Seth Rollins. Give him the curb stomp, which is, obviously clear MO, right? Roman picks Drew. Finn versus Braun. How do we get back to Finn versus Braun at the Chamber? Winner gets the world title shot. Because Finn picked Drew. So that leaves CM Punk open. That works. And then we get Jacob and Cody probably in a regular match or some sort of stipulation match off on the side. And Cody gets involved in that Drew versus Roman match because Just because. Shits and giggles. Jacob versus the Attacker. Jacob versus the Attacker. How did you go? How do you go back to Jacob versus the I'm following you. On paper, I can follow this out. In my head, it kind of makes sense. I just don't see where Cody would go, right? Because Cody, Jacob, Drew, boom. If Drew is chosen by Roman, Jacob, who got thrown out by Roman, and Cody have to still finish their issue. This is your fault. If you would have never interfered in my match, what are you talking to? Da 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 da. They never got their final outcome on was it Saturday Night Main Event?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So they're still in the running. Oh, that's a lot of movement. That's a lot of movement. If you try to pull Cody versus Randy. Did Randy and Cody have a moment? I believe they did.
They've honestly had a lot at this point. They've just never set up that rivalry.
What are we doing with? Oh man, this is why I like Royal Rumbles, right? Because a lot of times they say the Royal Rumble, the WrestleMania resets everything. It's like a season end. I really feel like the Royal Rumble is right because when you give us something, you give us a taste. An elimination happens. Someone's not happy with the elimination. It sets these what ifs up, right?
Right.
And I look at the landscape. I think you could do Roman. Do you think Roman versus Drew, CM Punk, Finn Balor works for Mania?
So I think Punk Drew works.
Do you think Punk, Finn, Roman Drew on the other side? If Roman says, "Hey, Drew, I want you," now remember WWE could pull a whole switcheroo and have Drew drop a title before then.
This is going to be very petty of me, but I'm just really being honest. I will only have faith in Roman and Drew if Roman does more than 3 appearances until Mania to help build that up.
All right. I'm a second that motion. I do think that Roman has to be more in the mix. I don't think we can get a repeat 2025.
Because never mind even Roman. Never mind Roman, right? Just look back at when they were trying to do Cody and Cena at Mania. There was barely any interaction, let alone I'm not gonna say Cena. No, Cena didn't do that many appearances. He did like 2 or 3. But it's like we can't have that for Roman and Drew. That's not gonna do nothing to help build a match.
I would agree with you. I think that we need about 7 appearances from Roman at minimum. No, actually more than that. Mania ain't till April, mid-April.
No, that's why I was like 7. That's just
you got 4 weeks in April,
a month.
February, 4 weeks in March, plus another 2 to 3. My tribal chief, bro. I think right now WWE is smiling because they're in a good position. They got their ratings GOAT in the driver's seat. He won the Royal Rumble. Cool. That's one monkey off the back. Now you just have to figure out which champion, right? You have the CM Punk Roman thing that could ignite. Punk on the mic is chef's kiss, right? Or Finn continues to, because that's a situation with Finn Balor. He's not happy. He was supposed to get in the Rumble. They told him he had no more spots. He took out CM Punk at the end of the other show. We didn't see him tonight, but Finn and Punk at Elimination Chamber. Roman and Punk and the three-way between Cody, Jacob, and Drew. I think that's where the WWE is going to cement it.
Yeah,
I think that's what they will cement because again, on paper, it's an easy road to get to, and if you want to change something, you can do a little thing with we can have something happen in Elimination Chamber. We give a rematch to Finn at Mania, but that's rematches at Mania are not that typically. Like I remember Shawn Michaels and Triple H going back and forth after CB won, and they turned that to a triple threat at Mania 20, right?
Yeah.
they don't typically go with that type of stuff. If we just got the match in February or whatever, they don't like to go into Mania headlining with a version of the same match we just got.
Yeah, and then they repeated that match at Backlash.
Yeah,
which was actually even better, surprisingly, but
right. I thought those matches were always great.
Yeah.
We just really don't talk too much about it because of the events that happen around CB, but you know, and we'll leave it there. But I just bring that up because WWE, again, they're in the driver's seat. Roman Reigns won. Boom. Roman Reigns is your most popular guy. Watching the Royal Rumble, you can just feel like, oh man, this guy has got it.
Yeah. The other thing I want to highlight, in WWE's eyes, and I could be wrong, while they do like to play things safe a lot, the biggest risk they've done was put the belt on Drew to them. So with that said, they already feel like they've made a big risk putting it on Drew.
They may feel that way.
That's what I think they feel. So however they go about going into Mania, they're going to try to play it safe to where it still makes sense. I'm just not entrusting them to book a match that would come off risky.
Okay. So
like in this case, to me, if you have Roman and Punk, to me, that's the safest match you can have compared to Roman and Drew.
So you're saying Roman? Hold on, say the last part. You said Roman and Punk is the safest match.
Yes, compared to Roman versus Drew, that's a safe.
I'm not gonna lie. Popularity wise, as far as popularity, moving T-shirts, buying, putting asses in seats, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns on paper sounds like it would be that. Last year we got the triple threat, so they have that last year. If it wasn't for you last year, bringing Paul Heyman in my business, your business, I have to save your ass at War Games. I have to do. You can just hear it. You just hear it. It's there. And you don't have to worry about Punk, right? Roman doesn't have to do too much either because he could just speak. He gets a match or two. Punk is going to talk about you were barely here. Roman, when you were gone for 10 years and you're going to talk about me barely being here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot to unpack there. The Drew thing gets simple too with Cody because it's there. It's just there. Cody's not going anywhere. Jacob Fatu, if he goes to Mania and gets in that main event, the Jacob Fatu rocket is about to be lit. Whether he wins or loses. He made his WWE debut taking out Cody, KO, and Randy Orton in dramatic fashion. People were very impressed. So yeah, I think the Drew Jacob, I just think they just make it triple threats are no holds barred. So you can go on some extremes a little bit with that. You know what I mean? If you feel it's needed. Going back to Punk and Roman is an anti-hero. He's very.
I was going to say, do we consider Roman babyface or like a tweener? Because he comes off more as a tweener to me.
He's a tweener. Like tonight, what he did with Jay Uso is not a babyface move. Hey man, let's do the thing. Let me set him up. Get your dumb ass out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, that's not a babyface type.
That's when he won me over. So where I'm like, if he wins, I don't care anymore.
Yeah. So turning Roman heel isn't really a thing, but he's not babyface, but he's not heel. He's just, I'm doing what's best for me. And I'm doing it in dramatic fashion. People love Roman. I think he's heel based. If I have to answer the question, I think he's heel based.
He's kind of, not saying he is like him, but in terms of like where he stands, it's kind of like what Austin was, because Austin never acted like a babyface. Like, no, he never did
until he actually acted like a straight heel and aligned himself with Vince McMahon.
Right,
that was pure heel activity.
Yeah.
But Punk has been kind of babyfacious, telling Finn Balor, look, man, much respect. Like, he doesn't take side tactics to win. He's trying to be a mentor.
Yeah.
And Roman ain't mentoring nobody. If anybody's Jey Uso, and he does it in blood. The event SCB, what's good? The event was ass. I don't think it again. Royal. I don't want to grade events. I just want to put, because again, a part of this was my own personal disappointment because I set myself up for something that was non-existent. Ooh, the Jericho, and Jericho doesn't happen. Whose fault is that? Right? It's mine for wishing and hoping, and then when a fantasy can't happen, why are you mad? Bro, that's a fantasy. Well, so I do think the men's Royal Rumble did what it's supposed to do. I think the women's, normally I would say the women's is better than the men's. We've seen that in past years where I thought the women's was better than the men's.
Yeah, this year, to me, it wasn't it.
This year, I think the men's was better than the women's.
Yeah, and there wasn't really that many moments in the women's match where I was like, oh, that was fine. Like, not that many.
No. I thought the end.
Well,
Liv Morgan.
No, the end, yes. But
the end was there wasn't super fires.
There wasn't none. Tiffany, there was some, just not as much as the men's, in my opinion.
Her trying to soul snatch her, Tiffany getting her out of here. Yo, Liv all on the outside of the ring. You was in Rock Twitch. I seen you, SCB. I shouted you out. I said SCB. I was in there too. They're hella funny. If you haven't seen Rock, Tay-Rock, aka Battle Rap Legend, and his girl Lady Caution, they're definitely hilarious to watch. They were definitely on Twitch. The end was nice. Yeah, I think so. I don't want to say the event Drew squashing personally. The Canadian hobo being defeated like that, I take a shot to it.
That needed to happen. I like Sammy, but that needed to happen.
I have no faith in Sammy being elite. I don't want to see it. I think Sammy is, and now, again, for anyone who doesn't know, when I say mid-cards, I love my mid-cards. And people know this. I think Sammy is an elite mid-carder. He's your Razor Ramon. He's like your Mr. Perfect. He's going to get into the Hall of Fame. He's going to have some great matches. He's going to challenge for the world title. I don't think Sammy carrying the title is it. And if he is, it'll be transitional, something like a Sergeant Slaughter, 60 days max. But again, I prefer to see Sammy running the mid card at one time, maybe even breaking Gunther's Intercontinental record, or setting one for the U.S. title. You know what I'm saying? Seeing what lies there. But him getting beat by Drew brought a smile. Hey, what Thanos said: fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. You know what I mean? Sami Zayn isn't something that one considers when going to WrestleMania. You know what I mean? It's just not. And if you disagree, that's fine. It's okay. But Sammy is definitely going to be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. Sammy definitely puts on great matches. Does good promo.
I'll say this about Sammy, and I'll probably leave it at that afterwards. It's a reason why Kevin Owens was a champion before he was.
It's a reason. Moveset too helps. But I mean, Sammy's got a El Generico and stuff. Like, you go watch it on YouTube. I mean, but I just Again, Drew beating him the way he beat him.
It's all an eye test at the end of the day. Kevin Owens passes an eye test better than Sammy does. This is not my way of trying to say one's better than the other, but Kevin to me looks more legit than Sammy. That's just it. Especially when you have Vince at the time saying when he wanted Kevin Owens to slim down. That's why I said in the past episode. And pause, if Kevin Owens had like a similar body type like AJ Styles, he would have been probably one of the top athletes.
He'd have had a Romanesque type of title run.
Yeah.
A year, a CM Punk style, like he'd eclipsed the year.
Yeah, because outside of that, he has everything else.
Kevin Owens looks like he's in the bar drinking hard liquor and beats people up. Sami Zayn looks like he's in there drinking beer, gets beat up, and Kevin Owens comes to save him. There's the difference. And again, I love Sami Zayn match. I know if I'm starting a brand, I'm going to draft, not first, but I'm going to draft Sami because he's consistent in what he does. His promos are good. He can lead the way. He can have great matches. My second tier champion, that's going to be Sami Zayn. And that's no knock on him. Mr. Perfect's one of my favorite wrestlers. Y'all know how much I love Yokozuna, and people give me shit about every time I mention his name. Sometimes you got to take pride in being, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's okay that, Floyd is one of the GOATs, you know what I'm saying? But he's never going to be heavyweight champion. He's just not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? He's just not. He's a welterweight. So not to knock him because I don't want this to sound super negative on him because, again, if I'm building a brand, he might be like my fifth or sixth pick. I want to make sure I secure him because I know what kind of matches he can put on. I know what kind of promo I get. I can put him in different stables. You remember him in the Bloodline? He didn't mix and match, but he made that work very well. So I salute him. But him getting beat the way he got tonight brought a smile to my face.
Look, it was just for like a greater good in terms of Drew looking more legit as the undisputed champion.
Yes.
It also helps that he never beat Drew and they had 10 plus matches. What was the only?
Don't trip either. You still got a King of the Ring tournament that grants an opportunity at SummerSlam, and you have Money in the Bank. I expect Sami Zayn to win one of those.
One of them. And from this point on, this could be like again with his chase, like some type of Rocky Balboa kind of story.
It can.
Build him up. And Sammy's good at a chase too. So if they do that really well, it can work. And then after, I can buy in more into Sammy being champion. But I feel like he does need that, that chase. It's a little harder now where they position him because he's not looked at as an underdog anymore. But you may have to do that. Because if he's no longer an underdog, I can't put him next to like the Romans, the Drews. Yeah, I'm sorry, even an Obafemi, I'm supposed to believe again. I test the most overrated quote I've been told is "Don't judge a book by its cover." We all have eyes. We're not blind. So clearly, what we see, the first 5-10 seconds in our head, we judged it already. So don't tell me don't do that. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah, I think 100% agree, and it is what it is. I mean, Sammy can't beat those allegations of not looking the eye. He can't do it. People go into Hollywood, they say certain people have it. You know what I'm saying? Idris Elba, as great as he is, doesn't have the Denzel factor features. He just doesn't. As great as he is, and there's no knock to Idris Elba. Sami Zayn is just not going to have the Roman Reigns factor feature. But I do think, he just beat me to it. I hope they don't run a Cody Chase type rebound for Sammy because next year Mania at Saudi, and I forgot about that. And they love to pander. Matthew, what up? What up? I think that Roman will win the Rumble, brother. You late, brother. You might want to get out of here. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. Well, I think you just mistyped that because the product was going downhill and they needed to get their ratings back up. Roman went on. Okay, let's talk about this. Roman went on Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say it was a promo. I thought it was a little mixture of. I think it was a shot at Triple H directly, because he talked about Nick Khan being the genius. But by God, I gave y'all 2 years. Y'all have to create more stars. Otherwise, I got to come back and I got to do what I do. And I felt like that was within his promo range. But I think he had a valid point. And we've talked about this. I'm not going to do any Cody slander, brother.
No, I was going to say, we definitely talked about it. And this is a creative problem.
It is a creative problem.
And Roman is right.
And for a guy like me, I work on comic books and such, I don't understand when I watch Unreal what I'm watching. Because I'm flabbergasted. Who has a roster? There should be notes. When I have production meetings at my job, boom, every machine that's going out. Boom, I got notes to every machine. So I can't fathom leadership sitting in a room talking about people's careers and where we're going to take this and on television, what people are going to see. I don't have a roster in front of me divided by shows, right? With notes. Okay, this person last appeared. Hey, we still got to tie this back. What back? Well, we had Otis coming out against Chad Gable for months. Gable finally came back in a El Grande. We had 2 El Grandes. Are we still even doing an El Grande Chad Gable? Because there's a lot of Mexican wrestlers now. They're all over the place. Everybody got a mask. Are we still going to double back on that? And if we are, how do we get to that point? Do we bring Chad Gable out as Chad Gable, or do we do the double Americano thing? Why don't we say the double Americano thing once we bring Chad Gable back? You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of little things, but when I see it, it's just disheartening, bro. It's just disheartening. Unreal has done nothing more than make people say WWE has no clue. So when we give opinions, you might as well listen to us. because y'all ain't got it. I can't fathom. I got notes and quotes. Y'all know how I get down. Like how do you hate Hogan because of the clip of him saying, I'm not even gonna answer that on the line. Come on, bro, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? I do think that when I look at Cody Rhodes, Cody is a champion. He's not the guy I bank on. He's a champion. You remember in the Ruthless Aggression, you had a lot of guys. It's hard to really say in the Ruthless Aggression who was the face. I don't think there was one. And I honestly can argue that point all day long. I think right now you're looking at Roman Reigns is still the face. You took him away for 2 years. WrestleMania 40, he left. He came back at the following SummerSlam and has been in and out since. But again, when I look at that and I go, okay, who do we make in that time? And there's not meaning that you have to make a Roman Reigns level guy. I think Braun got pulled a little early, but not early. Him losing is part of the journey, right? I can't think of anyone who won their world title except for like a Damian Priest or someone who had a Money in the Bank on their first time out. Shawn Michaels won it at 12. He lost at WrestleMania 11. He lost at the 92 Survivor Series against Bret Hart. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of guys typically think, and if you think about that in hindsight, right, as great as Shawn is, he lost in 1992 to Bret Hart Survivor Series. 92. And he doesn't win the world title till 96. He wasn't ready. He wouldn't have been ready any time before that. He headlines WrestleMania 11, co-headline because Bam Bam Bigelow, you know what I mean? So Braun is in that. I don't think Braun needs to wait 4 years, but I think building Braun is a little bit like, it's needed. But he's not like, he's starting to look the part more and more. To me, eye test wise, 23 miles an hour. But then you bring up the Obafemis, you bring in a powerhouse Hobbs, Brock Lesnar walking around looking like 2.5 people out there. You see what he did to Ilya Dragunov tonight?
Yeah.
He took them chops and screamed in his face. Bro, maybe Mustafa could help us. I don't know what the most powerful move in wrestling is, but I got to imagine the chops got to be in the top 10. Raw chop straight to the flesh. Sammy will get his next. Sammy, you can't build Sammy. You can't pander crowds all the time. You just can't. Like, you can, like, I could put the guy in the main event here, or I could put Sammy next year can do something like a British Bulldogs Bret Hart match. You should have Sammy building a chase to take the US or Intercontinental title off somebody in a hellified match because something was going on there. There is not a need to put Sammy in a main event when you got Roman Reigns walking around. You got, they just highlighted the three. And we have an interview on here with Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid. Psycho Sid directly said, what's that, Sami Zayn? He talked to you, to your face, and told you Sami Zayn ain't it.
Yep, he said Sami Zayn is not someone who should be going over. And this is when he was feuding with Braun Breaker.
Come on, bro. This is a should-be Hall of Famer. Why he hasn't been, that's a whole nother story. Bro, there's no, put Sami, man. And let me not get mad because we're not even in the future yet. But I don't see Sami Zayn in next year's passing up the current list of guys that people are asking for. CM Punk might still be around. Gunther might be a real for real, like, hated heel that you gotta, you know what I mean? By next year, Drew's still around. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Cody. The Sami Zayn, I don't want to knock Sami Zayn. I think you should just have him fight whoever for the Intercontinental title or the U.S. Championship.
It's just tougher to consider Sammy when there's others who pass the eye test better than him.
Yeah. The merch test, the viewership test, every test that you can imagine. The best time Sammy was up, the best time for him to win was when he was in the bloodline and he went at Roman Reigns. The crowd was behind that at that time, in that moment, for what you guys were telling us that we you know what I'm saying, what we were seeing on a weekly basis. currently, there's a lot of guys. Roman, Cody, even. Nah, Cody, I don't think so. Brock is 48. Brock is 48.
Yeah, bro, he is.
What? How old is CM Punk? Like 46, 47?
He's probably around the same age.
You got to grow some people really quick. Tonight, they highlighted in the Men's Royal Rumble the NXT next three. I like to refer to that as almost like their shield, right? They're not tag teams, but they look
47. I just checked.
47. God damn. Man, 3 left matches for Brock until he retired. I see Oba at Mania somewhere before SummerSlam. I don't want to see Gunther retire Brock. I think that's just, we kind of talked about that earlier. I just don't. That's a no-go for me. After watching tonight with AJ, I can't see Brock going in a sleeper as larger than life as Brock is and being put to sleep by someone, former UFC champion. I just can't see it. It'd have to be Obafemi in a last man standing, career versus career, or some title match, something, and someone larger than Brock himself. Somebody just as physically, like, you know what I'm saying, the oh shit factor hits you like, damn, that guy's golly.
Someone that's physically intimidating.
Yeah, Royce Keys even, but I think this belongs to Oba. The only thing I think they messed up on Oba, they didn't mess up nothing up on Oba, but that TNA championship on Trick, when they did Trick versus Oba for that if you would have said Trick is a form or Oba is a former 2-time NXT and TNA world champion, it makes it only right that he's sliding right into a world title picture as soon as he gets to the main roster. I mean, you could do that with Trick, but Trick being heel, he's doing heel tactics, you know. I think he's still a little rough around the edges. But Oba, he's like Mick Foley. That's a good analogy. Crowd loves him, but you can't put a title on him for more than a month. I think that's just a fair assessment. But we are where we're at. We're at the 2-hour mark. You got more stuff? Because I got more if you got more. I got none if you got none. You let me know, Gamaj.
I'll also say this with that analogy. Mick Foley, Mankind, whichever, he was a bigger draw than Sammy, though.
But we didn't know that until WCW put that out there. Oh, yeah. You know, and they thought it was nothing. And you found out very quickly that, people were like,
Mankind,
what?
Once Mankind beat The Rock for that belt, you immediately knew Mankind was a draw.
Yeah, at that point, yes.
Yeah,
but we didn't know that before.
But there's never been a moment with Sammy to say he's a draw because it's never happened.
There was a moment where it didn't happen. That it could have happened, but it didn't. And that was when he beat Gunther. If the crowd would have went crazy, if people would have responded on the internet and talked about that, and that would have been the thing we took away, it would have let us know that Sammy's that guy. It did not happen.
And that's exactly my point.
That's
the biggest difference between the two. At least Mankind was over, or at least not over, but a bigger draw.
If Finn Balor beats Punk, right, and gets that title off him, that same thing will happen again. Where people are like, yo, Finn Balor, because we saw when Finn Balor just wrestled Punk, bro, he still got a large following in his country. 2, a lot of people start to get nostalgic when people get to the end of their careers, right? And people want to remember the old Finn, the great Finn, the Finn that got him to the WWE, the Finn that had him dominating on NXT. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind if somehow Finn ends up in the main event at Mania. And I don't mind if over the next 365 days, if Finn walks away with a championship, the world title. Don't mind it. I don't mind it. Finn is undersized, but he has a moveset that fits his thing. And then when he does the demon, it's like it's intensified. WWE always tried to look for a story, but you got the demon getting beat. Stop that. Next time he wears the demon outfit, he better not lose. Because you guys are killing characters that don't need to be killed for, it just doesn't need to happen. Yeah, exactly. Demon Finn is a big draw. It's astonishing. when you watch it. I don't know, man. I'm hoping they get back on track. Yes. I had to answer that. Let me ask you a couple more things and we'll get up out of here. One, surprise entrance into the Royal Rumble this year. Let me go through the predictions and let's see who got what right. We'll start with me. I only did 3. Chad Gable, Joe Hendry, and Bianca Belair. Surprise / returns. I got 1. All right. You took some shots here. I like yours. You had Jericho, Bianca, AJ Lee, Trish Stratus, Omos, and Mr. Iguana. Out of all those you named, the one I hoped you were wrong on was right.
That's the one I didn't want to be wrong on.
You want
well,
Mr.
not be
Iguana
wrong.
there?
Sorry, I didn't want to be right about Iguana.
Oh yeah, I'm like, bro.
Yeah, hold on.
Mr. Iguana is not it, and he looked childish in there with a sock. Come on, bro. I
preferred La Parka in that match than him.
I did too. La Parka worked, but La Parka didn't work for me because Finn didn't get a spot. I'm like, damn, brought La Parka back, but when I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel like I mean, there was no storyline for Finn technically, I guess, because the WWE was like, no, we're gonna handle this later, right? So that's the reality. In the world of storylines, Finn should have made a stink tonight. Finn should have popped up at some point, trying to get in or attack somebody, because we've seen that. You remember Tozawa last year? ISO Speed got in the Rumble. So if Finn wanted to get in, why was he not there? Maybe you would have called security. No, you're not getting in, Finn. You're not getting in. I don't understand how we didn't see that at all. See a Finn Balor. So lost opportunity to make Finn look like he's on it. But you know, it is what it is. Rey Fenix. Is it time for this is a crazy question. Is it time for Rey Fenix to leave the WWE?
That's the other thing. They had an opportunity to do the Lucha Bros in the match. They didn't even do that.
I don't know what Penta came first. We got Rey Fenix. They're like not mentioning it. They're kind of like, hey, Dragon. Everything we thought Rey Fenix would be, they've given to Dragon Lee, and Dragon Lee down there came back out of nowhere. I'm good. Rey Fenix. Remember, he went to Mania and got beat. I can't remember who he wrestled anymore, but
El Grande.
Chad
Gable, El Grande though.
He getting beat like, oh man. I'm not happy with this. Rey Fenix just got there. Rey Fenix was done. Penta aura is, I wouldn't say it's lost, but it's slowed down. I watched Unreal where Paul Heyman spoke very highly of Penta. I would agree with those statements and sentiments, but what I'm watching now, it feels like you're just got Penta stuck in a rut. What are we doing with Dom and the IC title? Strip him.
Yeah.
Pull Shawn Michaels.
I felt like they should have stripped Dom while he was injured.
Strip him. And pull a Shawn Michaels. That belt ain't coming back from Dom. We put up a new championship tournament. Dom comes back. I ain't never lose. I ain't never lose.
Here's how I would have treated it. If anyone is injured to where you can't make an appearance for, let's say, 2 months, the belt's got to get stripped.
Got to get out of here.
Yeah,
I would say 30 days. And this is why. There's too many events. There's PLEs every month. Plus, Royal Rumble was today. Last week was Saturday Night Main Event. Plus, you got your regular SmackDown. Plus, you got your regular Raw. So I can't fathom. Every month, you essentially got 1 or 2 events. Every month. There's no let up. I can't have you holding the title. Or if I do, I would Shawn Michaels this thing. Who do you want to see Dom in the thing with next? So-and-so, but we don't know how to get there. I know how you get there. Strip him. Dom don't send that belt back. You put a face to, like how we're doing this. You make an interview with Dom with the general manager, with Adam Pearce, and he's explaining to him. And Dom is trying to partition for not letting the belt off. And then final thing, Adam Pearce put the foot down. You are officially stripped. And then Dom gives the middle finger. We'll see about that. And he just leaves. And you're like, what does that mean? For weeks, we see a new we see a new Intercontinental title tournament, or whatever you're going to do, however you want to do it. It could be a battle royal. It could be a run the gauntlet. It could be anything you want. Crown him at WrestleMania if Dom is not ready to come back. Post WrestleMania, Dom's ready to come back. He walks back with his title. I'm not saying you know, but I'm not giving up a belt that I won that I didn't lose. And if you think I should, why did AAA let me keep their title? Like, you make Dom blur the lines of reality, make Dom blur the lines a little bit of the, you know what I'm saying, the kayfabe. And at the same time, Dom doesn't lose his belt. And then he can beat whoever. Cardona stole a spot. I feel like they might run a 6-way TLC match at Mania for the women's tag. Let me get out of this Dom thing for a second.
Yeah, 6 women TLC. So we said that would be Rio if they're still champions. I think the Bella Twins would be a good look again for Mania.
They'll get broken in that match. They'll never come back.
Oh no, they would. I'm only going off of on paper what looks good to book, and I don't.
Charlotte and Alexa. That's a good way to break them up if you want to break them up.
Yeah.
You got Lash and Nia Jax, aka Yam Yam Bigelow, aka the Big Fine Machine. Archie, that was courtesy of you. What other? You still got the Kabuki Warriors if they're still there, if they're still in capacity. You know what I'm saying? Then you still got Liv and Roxanne. All your world championship women are in capacity. And then, like you said, the Bellas came back. You still have Lyra Valkyria and Bailey.
I see the part of me that feels bad. We'll want Lyra and Bailey only because Bailey got snubbed last year.
I don't mind seeing it, bro. I don't mind seeing it. I just think with the women, you can do a 3-way, but didn't we just have what was the last match we had where Stephanie Vicure was a pro? Was that Money in the Bank?
The ladder match?
Yeah.
That was Money in the Bank. That was when Naomi, I think Naomi had won it.
Okay. Not sure if I want to go back to doing another one, but there's too many women to not put on that card in some capacity. Too many women.
But I also think that's part of the problem why Mania hasn't felt like a spectacle anymore. It's like, let's put everybody in it. No, Mania was never like that when it felt like the grand theme it was. Not everybody was able to get into Mania.
That's why Vince McMahon used to do pay-per-view bonuses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to get there. You got to, but it's 2 nights. And I don't know if they're going to do 5-night cards or 5 match cards. If it is 5 match cards, then you got to fill it. And every title should be on the line. But there's not enough matches. 10 matches is not enough. Because you got 2 men's world titles, 2 women's world titles, 2 IC belts, 2 US titles, 2 men's world tag team titles, and right there, that leaves 1 title out. That's the women's tag. If you put everything together. So, if you did, you could make the men's one match. You could make a unified men's versus men's tag team, the Usos versus whoever comes off of the other brand, and finally unify that, because the women only have 1 title for all brands: NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. And I think the men should do the same. I hate when people listen. Instead of texting me, watch the chat. I can't say nothing crazy based on the person who's texting me, but yeah, we're gonna get up out of there. Any last minute notes, Gamaj? I mean, we covered a lot, y'all. We've been on here for 2 hours. The Royal Rumble. Let's go back. Roman Reigns wins. Y'all see the headline: the Tribal Chief. Liv Morgan won. She's gonna have a lot to deal with Raquel eliminating her as they were both in the final four. AJ Styles, WWE career is over, and Drew McIntyre wins. But y'all see the shirt. Y'all know normally I don't wear a shirt, just hoodies. But you know what I'm saying? I predicted. I mean, a lot of people did. So let me not act. But you know what I'm saying? The undisputed podcast champion of the world, King HP. And that's your favorite wrestler's favorite podcaster, Gamaj. You know what I'm saying? You know how I know he's your favorite wrestler's favorite podcaster? Because if your favorite wrestler ain't got a picture with Gamaj, then he ain't as famous as you think he is. And here's a guy today. His WWE career has come to an end. And again, if your favorite wrestler ain't got a picture with Gamaj, he ain't as famous. Let me slide these pennies to the side while we say this. You know what I'm saying? And this is proof, a living legend right here. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. AJ Styles started in the Royal Rumble back in 2016, and he ends his WWE career at the Royal Rumble 2026. The phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Yeah, so any last minute blurbs, herbs, you know, anything you want to say?
This was interesting Royal Rumble. It has been the most unpredictable Rumble we've had in quite some time. So it's really hard for me to say this was.
I predicted both winners, brother. I don't know what you talking about. I got the notes. I got the receipts. Don't come here now saying it was unpredictable.
I predicted the right winner. I technically predicted the right winner.
I'm just fucking with you.
Technically, but this was a very unpredictable Rumble, so it's hard for me to say it was bad because of that reason alone. And I'm not really upset at the winners, to be honest.
I'm with you. I think go watch all the Royal Rumbles. You know, this past week I was on the Humble Rose podcast. Shout out to Dallas Cash. We did Royal Rumble trivia. When people go and watch events, go back and watch something. Don't just watch the highlights. Don't just watch one match from event. Watch the whole event. You'll be very like, man, you know. And then again, watching something in real time versus watching it back has a different effect on things. You see what I'm saying? I'm very happy Roman Reigns in front of a live crowd got to win a Royal Rumble where he wasn't getting booed out the building. Because as much as he was in Royal Rumbles and was always a runner-up, that one he did win, horrible. He got booed out the building. The Rock came here, tried to hold him down. It didn't happen for him. Check us out on the Hall Priest Universe. We will be live tomorrow. We might have some dates for the From thing. We definitely will be doing some movies and entertainment. Got some stuff for my daughters. One of my daughters is watching Martin Lawrence Love. You so crazy. So anyway, we got to get into that. But yeah, check me out on the Hall Priest Universe. Y'all know where we're at. Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, recaps Mondays, Wednesdays. Wednesdays will be the Mondays, Fridays. Wednesdays will be the Wednesday Night Wars. We probably will be rebranding that. Without Archie Carter here, it's a little different, but it's still gonna be something on Wednesdays. It might be the word of Wednesdays, the word on wrestling. I don't know. Who knows what it'll be, but we're gonna still keep that Wednesday day up. Good day to just talk some wrestling and get interactive with you all. So if you're not a member, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like, comment. Also, we're going to give out 2K26. We did this last year. WWE 2K26. Let us know your brand. Let us know your platform, and we'll send that to you. Last year we had 6 winners. We said 5, but due to a mess up, we got an extra edition. So we look to do the same thing this year. I don't know how many copies we will give out, but I guarantee 1 off the rip. I think I said 2. So 2 off the rip of WWE 2K26 looks phenomenal as pre-sales just went up. But you have to be a member. So go ahead, subscribe on the YouTube, and then hit join, and then you'll see tiers. All you have to do is be in the transfer portal. It's $1.99 a month. It's nothing big, but that'll automatically enter you into the drawing for 2K26, and then we'll have some things where we do some giveaways for that based on whatever. Outside of that, Gamaj, anything else? We forget anything? Did we not cover enough? What we doing?
Nope. I think after this, we see what happens on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown and see what builds up.
Ooh, I can't wait. I look forward to it. Until next time, tap in tomorrow night, Hall Priest Universe. You see my guy, Gamaj. And until next time, till Monday night, or if something pops in the wrestling world, we'll be right there with you. Until next time, peace. Salute to all.